Okay, hello, it's 10 o'clock and welcome to the weather update. It's February 12th, 2021, and it was yet another gloomy day across the area here. As you see here, just another overcast gray day looking at the county seat here in Mineola. And tonight, just an overcast gray night there. So just all shades of gray pretty much. It's been the weather these past 4 days now in a row here that we're dealing with this. And you see much of the country is covered in advisories and warnings, and it's all from these storms that are coming into the Pacific Northwest, one after another, and then going across the south and then coming up the East Coast. And we're going to have to worry about, it looks like they have some icing conditions that they're going to have to worry about there in parts of the mid-Atlantic, and that'll be our problem in a day or two. As we deal with this. So looking at the current conditions around outside right now, you can see winter weather advisories now in effect for much of New Jersey, and they will be probably expanding into our area shortly. Right now, temperatures are around in the upper 20s pretty much across the area. Upper 20s is what we're dealing with. Looking at the Weather Service, you'll see that they have an overview for this wintry mix possible Saturday night and Sunday. And then another storm, which will probably be more significant late Monday into Tuesday. Exactly hard to tell exactly what's going to happen right now with that. So let's go take a look at the climate, because I'm going to make a couple of points here. We'll go look at the ice slip climate. So, high temperature today and ice slip only 29. So we didn't get above freezing today. Low is 18. And the average temperature was 24. All right. And the normal value for the average is 32. So we are below normal by about 8 degrees. So it is below normal. Not a lot below normal. Not like, the Arctic blast would have been. But it was still below normal. Because we're on the cold side of this stall front that we're dealing with right now. Here's a satellite image, and you can see that stall front clearly just sitting in the clouds, literally. If you're to the north, upstate, probably Albany or further north, and New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, you probably had a decent amount of sunshine today. But for us, we were just stuck in the clouds all day once again because of this stall front. And if we go ahead and we look at the CONUS satellite view, and you'll get to see here, it pretty much looks like yesterday with the stall front right here. We'll draw it out for you here. I got to figure out how to get to this. I'm using Chrome, so I'm not using the, I don't know why it's not showing the extensions here. Well, I won't be able to draw it out. I'd have to use the other browser. But let me see if I can figure it out here, because the extensions should be in here. I don't know why they're not showing up. Extensions, let's see here. Yeah, web paint. I gotta switch it on. Okay. That's why it's not there. Now it's there. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw this out now, because it's important to have this out here. You can see, that is way too narrow. The size of that brush, that's not, that's way too small. You can see here the jet stream here. In here, diving to the south, and then right up the East Coast. So all your storms, all your tropical moisture is going up the East Coast. It's been like this, and it's just one low after another. You can see here's another low here, and then the next one. Here's the next one coming in. And I think this one will be the Tuesday system that we'll have to watch out for. This one is the Valentine's Day system right now, gathering in the Gulf and getting ready to go up the East Coast here, as you'll see. So, yeah, and you can see a lot of clouds across the entire country because the cold air actually is quite shallow, and that's why we're seeing all these ice storms and ice events. Because the cold air is actually, the deep cold air is not even going to make it into the United States. It's very shallow. So that's part of the issues we're dealing with. So you can see the train of storm systems across the entire country. We got winter storm warnings in effect for Texas, and they're going to see Dallas. They're going to see ice. Curious to see what their forecast is over there, but they're going to see ice. I guess if we can go to the Weather Prediction Center here. So you can see there's the stall front right here on the Weather Prediction Center here. All right. So I do see the winter storm warnings in effect for Texas. So let's see, winter storm severity index here. And you can see here, extensive impacts likely in the Texas area. And I'm thinking that's going to be ice. I don't think it's, let's see, snow amount. Well, they do have major impacts on snow amount, but let's see, ice accumulation. You can see the ice accumulation map. We'd have to actually pull up a forecast for Texas and look at that. We can get a forecast for Texas. You know, this tool doesn't let us do it. So winter storm warning in effect. Let's look at the winter storm warning for Texas. Impacts: patchy freezing drizzle, which will be glaze of ice. Transitioning from sleet and freezing rain. So it will start as sleet and freezing rain, and then it will come in snow. So they're saying 3 to 7 inches of snow in Texas. But there will also be icing involved too. It won't just be snow. You can see here that it is quite cold as you go into Fort Worth, 23 degrees. You can see how the cold air is. Look at that. Even Houston's 36 degrees. That is very cold for Houston. So it's 36 in Houston, but if you go to the East Coast in Jacksonville, it's 57. It's all messed up. And if you go further north here, you'll see here teens all the way up into Oklahoma. And then if you go into further north into Nebraska, you see they're below zero over there. So they got the cold air, but it's all confined to that one area. So, yep. All right, we shift over to the models now, and we start looking at the models and seeing what's going to be happening here. You can see there's that cold air right there. But that core of that cold air is never coming into the lower 48. So let's go take a look at it was supposed to originally dive straight down to the lower 48 and give us bitterly cold but dry conditions. But nope, that's not happening, as we already know. That was canceled. So, yep, you can see here at the surface that big high, all right? But let's go to the upper air. There's the trough right there. You clearly see it right there. But look at what's going to happen. It just dives straight down. Get that, dive straight down into Texas over the weekend. And we stay in this southwesterly flow aloft. But at the surface, we have a low-level cold air. And you can see it just stays. And we look at this ridge that we're dealing with all week long. And then finally, we sort of get rid of it. But then the cold air, the really cold air is trapped up there. So we never really get to see the really cold air here. It just never arrives here, which is very strange because all the time I remember cold air, you know, if it hit the Dakotas, it would usually hit us. The fact that it just goes straight south and never gets to us, that's just not normal at all. Same kind of agreement with the Euro here. So that trough kind of stays in the west. We have to wait for the weekend for this stuff to get swept out of here. And what do we mean by this stuff? Well, let's go look at the surface. And I'm going to start off actually with the North American view. So you can see what happens to that high there as it comes down. It never really, it makes it as far south as the Dakotas, and that's it. So so you get an idea of what's happening here. So now we go and we look at the CONUS view here on the GFS. And here's our next storm system. This is the one Saturday night to Sunday now coming out of the Gulf. You see it coming out of the Gulf. And it keeps it fairly weak and kind of suppressed, which is good news for us, which means Saturday should be okay. But we might have some light mixed precipitation throughout Sunday. And then here we go with the next system. There's actually another system that passes by to the south on Monday. And then that leaves, and then boom, here comes the next system. And this is the big one that we've got to watch out for on Tuesday. Clearly see, there's the ridge from hell over there. Pointed that out already. Here's the nice high, that nice 1036 high, bringing the cold and bitterly cold and dry conditions all the way from the Dakotas, Minnesota, through Kansas, down into Texas. But we're not going to see any of that. And neither will the West Coast. Neither will the mountainous West either. It's gonna stay east of the Rockies in this narrow area. It's like a narrow high that's building down. Very unusual to see this. Usually you would just build throughout the whole country, but because of climate change, well, we don't see that. So there's that next system, and this is the one that we've got to watch out for. All right. That high moves away, and then maybe we can get some nice weather behind it before the next system comes in. This one looks like the ridge keeps getting stronger, so because of that, we're in warmer air, and at least this time, Friday, we'd have some rain, and hopefully, maybe enough rain and enough warmth to wash a lot of this snow away before it gets colder again by that weekend of 20 to 21st, which, of course, I'll have no train service. And if I want to go anywhere, I'll have to get up real early. But after that, it looks like we finally see a change in the pattern. So after that, we finally get out of this pattern of just relentless storminess, and we start drying out a little bit. Okay? So when we look at the temperature anomaly chart, again, you've seen this, the same old story. The bitterly cold air goes down to the Midwest. We don't see any of that. Actually, we're looking at temperature, actual air temperature. Or temperature anomaly. There we go. Because this shows up the cold air better. You can see, look at that, going right down into Texas here. We don't get into any of that. I mean, it's just stuck in the middle of the country. It's all the Midwest that gets to see it. We don't see any of it, and it never gets here. It just stays over the Midwest all throughout next week. While we're having some below normal temperatures, but not, huge departures. Maybe one day. It looks like Wednesday actually looks quite cold now. So we'll have to see. Maybe we'll get a piece of it. Maybe we'll get a piece of it. Maybe. Holding out hope. And then after that, we're not seeing any big plunges. Though, you never know. Maybe there'll be some others. It looks like the GFS is trying to bring some down. Hopefully this time things will be set up more better in the atmosphere than what they were. But boy, Southwest is way above normal. Look at that. It's been warm in Flagstaff. They've been in the 50s all day, so they're not getting a winter in Flagstaff. We're actually doing better than they are, all right? For once. Let's go take a closer look at our area, and we are going to start looking at the clouds. Well, actually at the precipitation as our next system comes in for tomorrow. And I'll be using the NAM 12 kilometer for that, and we'll be using the 0Z NAM for that. So let's go take a look at that, and you'll see here, tomorrow stays fairly dry, just plenty of clouds, but you'll start seeing some light mixed precipitation. Actually, this is the NAM, so it's advancing it a little closer. Light mixed, you see this color here? That purple, that's sleet, possibly light mixed precipitation over southern parts of New Jersey. And then that might start getting in here tomorrow night, like after 5, 6 o'clock. We'll see some of this light mixed precipitation, but it will be on the light side. Not really expecting a whole lot. And that is actually the Sunday system. The NAM moves it through more like on Saturday, which is good. That means your Sunday might be dry. It might be cloudy, but it might at least be dry. Before the next system would come in, and this would be Monday. That's the second system there, Monday. This one's a weak one and stays suppressed, but then the next system, the main system that we would have to watch out for is the Tuesday system. NAM right now thinks it's going to be rain, which would be great if it was rain. And at this point, you might as well root for that ridge to get stronger so we have rain. We've had enough of this frozen precipitation already. And the snow is getting old already. I really would like to get rid of it already. It's a pain in the neck to walk in. And it's all hardened ice. It's dirty and not very pleasant. So if the NAM is correct, we would just have rain. And it would just be plain old rain. Let me look at the temperature profile on the NAM. Still, it would be a cold rain, mid-30s, but it would be a rain. But again, that storm is way too. It's way too early to tell what's going to happen with that storm. But I'm not really too concerned with the one that we're going to be getting tomorrow night. I don't think it's going to be a very strong system. We'll have more idea on it. Obviously, I don't have enough of the HRRR or any other models to look at. But if we were to look at the total snowfall, it doesn't really give total icefall, but this is the total snowfall. You'll see it's not really giving much. However, the GFS wants to cream us with that storm on Tuesday. That one still wants to cream us. Whereas if we look at the NAM, you'll see it's not really bringing much to the area. Maybe a little bit in Jersey, and that would be from tomorrow's Saturday night storm. And maybe that clips the east end a little bit. But like I said, I don't really think we're going to be seeing a lot. Because again, if we look at let's look at the liquid equivalent here. Let's look at the total accumulated precip, which would be the liquid equivalent. This is the NAM. You can see it's not really giving us a whole lot. This only goes up till 12Z Tuesday, so we're not seeing the Tuesday system. But you'll see not really much from tomorrow's system on here. It mainly is tomorrow night's system. It's mainly over New Jersey, and we wouldn't see that much. Now, if we look at the GFS, GFS is a similar idea. But it's that next system that comes in and then wallops us on Tuesday. That's going to be the one with the most moisture that we have to worry about. So going back to the GFS, we're going to look at the GFS now on that Tuesday, because I'm really not too concerned with tomorrow night's system. It's going to be very small tomorrow night to Sunday. However, the GFS does keep that light precipitation lingering over us on Sunday. So it may be drizzle, it may be clouds. It's not going to be a great day, but it won't be, it won't be as bad as Tuesday is looking right now, and even Monday. This is the GFS. You can see GFS is generating a lot more moisture. And then here's that storm system for Tuesday, and this is the one that we got to concern about. We're in the red, which is freezing rain, stretching off the I-95 corridor, Central Jersey, Long Island, New York City. This could be a lot of ice that we would have to watch for. So it could be, we haven't had a major ice sleet event or sleet event in a while. So according to the GFS, it has the storm system more of on a track that would give us that, with that low-level cold air around, that could be a little harder to push out of the way. We don't know yet, but I'm just saying the potential is there that Tuesday could be an ice event for our area, one of such severity that we have not seen in a while. We have had ice storms in the past, and we haven't had one for a number of years now, and our time could be up. But we've got time between now and Tuesday to. Right now, it's too early to tell exactly what's going to happen, but just keep an eye on that. That's all I'm saying. Well, let's go look at the temperature outlook on the GFS here. And tomorrow, tonight, we'll have lows probably in the teens. And then tomorrow, we're going to have highs in the upper 20s to around 30. And here comes that storm system. See the warm air offshore there. For Sunday, it will be a little warmer, mid-30s perhaps. So these temperatures are, borderline temperatures. And like I said, I really don't, between that and the light precipitation, I wouldn't worry too much. It's the next system that we've got to worry about. So the GFS here, you will see here, that front just gets stuck right over us, but there's cold air in the low levels, and you note what happens. The cold air actually starts coming down. This is the GFS. It starts coming down, and at the low levels here, all right? So if we go and we change the temperature, let's see if it gives me the 850 temperature. All right, you see, look at that 850 temperature, how it's warmer. So that is the concern that we have to worry about right now, is that 850 temperature. If it's warm aloft and it's cold at the surface, it's going to fall as rain and then fall into the below freezing air as freezing rain, and this could be a significant ice event. And if the GFS has its way, behind that, it gets very cold after the ice storm. Temperatures dropping into the possibly single digits. Yeah, it would be single digits. And then Wednesday, we struggle to reach the mid-20s. So there's your really cold day there, according to the GFS. And then after that, we start seeing the warm up again. And this would be the next system to come in, would bring in some warm air and perhaps some rain. And then behind that, we get back into the cold air for the weekend again, with temperatures, again, below normal. Not a huge amount below normal, but below normal by about 5 degrees. So, but right now, if the GFS were to have its way, you could see this low-level cold air. Now, the NAM doesn't go far enough out to this point. I don't think we have enough yet. It only goes out till 12Z on that. We could look at the RGEM. I don't think RGEM's not going that far out. Let me see if we have the 18Z. Maybe that'll go far enough out. Give us an idea. No, that's not going to be far enough out. So we really don't have enough models to work with right now in this. I can look at the European and see. I mean, there is the Canadian. I guess we can look at the Canadian here. You can also look at the ICON model too for this, because this Tuesday system really does concern me. Now, GEM has us above freezing, so if it was the GEM, you'll see that we'd probably be getting rain. And the GEM actually seems to have this whole storm a lot weaker and further to the north. All right, this is the Canadian. Now let's go look at the ICON model. Again, I'll have to pick the 18Z. ICON, I believe, is a different European model. It's the German model. You can see the ICON also gives us heavy rain instead. So let's hope these models are right and the GFS is wrong. Let's hope, because then we would just have rain, and it would be a lot better than an ice storm. I mean, ice is the worst because it's worse than snow, because it's slippery, obviously. It makes the roads extremely dangerous. It coats trees and power lines. It causes power outages. An ice storm would be much worse than plain rain or even a foot of snow. I'll take a foot of snow over a quarter-inch of ice, because ice is bad news. It really is. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with that. Obviously, the models are kind of diverging all over the place with that. So I guess the last thing we would just look at is the skies, which we're not going to see the sun. So, but I'll do it anyway. Here's tomorrow. Clouds Sunday, clouds Monday, clouds Tuesday. Wednesday, maybe we can get these clouds out of here, and maybe we can have a clear day. Maybe. But then the clouds roll back Thursday, Friday, and we'd have to wait until the weekend. The weekend from after this weekend for the skies to clear out again. Let's look at the NAM here. This is the 0Z NAM. Similar idea here. You could see, actually, it tries to break maybe a little bit of sun out in the afternoon for Valentine's Day, which would be nice, but we don't know if that's going to happen. All right, let's look at the RGM here, and this is probably not going to go far enough out, that far out either. I have to go to the 18s, the RGM. RGM doesn't even get us out of the clouds, and we're just stuck there. Here's Tuesday morning. We're just stuck in the clouds. Okay, so let's look at the windy.com, and we'll just go ahead and look at this, and we'll see what the European model has for first this storm here. It does some light precipitation over us tomorrow, and if we were to look at the new snow here the next 3 days, it's giving us an inch, believe it or not. North of the city, but in the south of the city, nothing. All right. We go back to the rain precipitation view. And this is Monday. It's Tuesday. I don't know if that would be, it has ice, so. Well, the temperatures are above freezing on Tuesday, according to this. See the 35 there. There's some light icings, but if we go all the way, we look at the new snow accumulation. We go to the next 5 days. Let's see. I think that would be his next 5 days. Tuesday would be the next 5 days. Well, actually, it might not be. Have to go to the next 10 days, I think, for that. So it gives us 4.2 inches and nothing for Jersey. So, beginning, the models are kind of all over the place is the issue that we are having here. And it's really going to be hard to say what's going to happen Tuesday, but it's just something that everybody's going to have to watch. Obviously, the Euro seems to want to bring that cold air in for Wednesday. So, because it does want to do that, that's why Tuesday would be a concern. But, however, it does seem to have Tuesday above freezing, which would mean wet, not frozen. So, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see, but one thing is for certain, we're going to be stuck in the clouds. Clouds. And more clouds for Monday. Tuesday, storm departs. And then maybe we could see some clear skies on Wednesday. Maybe. That's going to wrap up this weather update anyway, so thank you for watching, and take care.